Joe Rich at the Chicago Film Fest this coming weekend, and that's why I can't say Kane County Circuit. Poof, poof. It's hard for me.
You almost had it there.
Okay. Let's see. I wonder if Armand DeSante is going to be at the screening this weekend. Well, never mind. We'll ask.
Yeah,
okay. Before we go on, you're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show on WRMN 1410 AM, and we would like to thank our very special sponsor.
You know her as Dr. Claire Leyes, of course, great chiropractic talent. She is 23 years. She's been located at 2001 Larkin Avenue. Can you give her a call? 847-888-9988. And Diva, one more time with your posturepedic posture there. There it is.
Posturepedic.
Exhibit A, officer. Perry Mason would say, isn't it true? There's a perfect posture. Old term from the lawyers. 888-9988, 847 area code. Can you drive? Are you a good driver? Well, you thought about it? You know,
a great runner.
You young kids out there, and great runners, and it's almost like a good driver. But for all the teens who want a great driver's education class, you should call Azarella Driving School. Their low rate of only $3.99 for all 36 hours is far less than you might have to pay at your high school, and you'll get much better teaching, one would think. You'll learn free self-defense in our program because of bullies and road rage. Next class is underway. Give them a call. Make sure you call Azarella. Make sure her future schedule is permanently in your mind. 847-373-4137 for more info. Azarella Driving School. Diva, we like to say, learn how to drive and survive.
And a very big thanks to snobhounds.com and KC Tool, weekly sponsors of ours, without whom our show would not be possible. So let's get back to Tom. And
can I ask him one question?
Sure.
Is the Hartwell Street still around in Chicago?
Yes, yeah, Hartwell Avenue.
Do you go by and see it every now and then?
You could go by and see it. In fact, you can see it from the Skyway.
Diva, do you know that street?
No, but I didn't know you could see from the Skyway. Is it near South Chicago Hospital?
It's off 67th. It's 2 blocks east of State Street, 67th, which is Marquette Road.
Was it difficult for you as a young boy to move away from a street named after your family?
Well, we weren't living there. I was born South Chicago Hospital, but lived near Midway Airport until I was about 3 years old. And then after that, we moved to South Holland.
Is that the end of your question?
Well, unless your script tells me something different, I'm all ears. Maybe we should ask him why it was named after your family. What was the cause?
It was the road to my great grandfather's farm. And
those were the days.
And that was the days.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
At one point, it was actually longer, but when they built the Skyway, kind of cut it down. Now it's just block and 3/4 long, but it bears my name. So.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, tell us about your campaign and what you think you would hope to accomplish when elected, if elected.
Yeah, it's as I was saying there's a couple changes that are coming forward. I was talking about what a circuit is.
Mm-hmm.
The circuit has nothing to do with electricity.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't. What it has to do with is the fact that when they first established the court systems, a judge would ride from town to town to town to different county seats, and they'd go in a big circle or a circuit.
Okay.
Right now, the 16th Judicial Circuit includes Kendall County and DeKalb County. And the first change that we're going to be facing is, starting next year, is Kane County will be its own circuit. And Kendall and DeKalb County are going to become a separate circuit. So there's going to be organizational things that we're going to have to be ready to make those changes.
You won't be involved in the other. You're only involved in the Kane.
Correct.
Not in the Kendall DeKalb.
That's correct. So
they're kind of like splitting off.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right. So that's a big change that the court system is facing. The other thing that I see in the future is the federal courts right now are all everything is filed electronically, and eventually that's the same thing going to happen with the states.
Wow.
Right now you file with paper, but eventually we're going to get to the point where you're going to file by computer, and we need to start preparing for that change, whether it be even 5 years down the road. Those are things we have to start looking at now.
I know that the technology has changed in your office,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one good example of how and why. How does an efficiently run circuit court clerk's office impact your average Kane County citizen or any citizen?
Right. Well, first of all, cost efficiency is very, very important. And the job is really about service. As I mentioned, when you go to court, you're uptight. It's usually because of a problem, and you want the job that's done right. Also, you want courteous service. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't cost anything to be courteous. To provide that service is something that should just be done. Then from there, you have to make sure that the files are there, that everything is in place. And looking at the office, one of the first things that I would do is to run a IT study, see what
Sure.
the computers are capable of doing, where we could go, and what's out there. And then second of all is a proficiency study to see how the personnel in the courtroom is being used right now. Right now there's 127 employees, I believe,
Okay.
that are in the being managed by the circuit clerk, and to make sure that they're spending their time efficiently. And of course, all that efficiency leads to tax, saving taxpayer
Sure.
dollars.
Economics.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful to hear. I think you got my vote. What are you proudest of professionally?
Professionally, what I'm proudest of is the pro bono work that I've been able to do over the years. I've been very fortunate that my practices allowed me a very good living, and that I've been able to have time to help people who've come to me and not necessarily being able to pay, but I've been able to give them the service they need. To this day, I'm still moved by the thought. I helped a woman, and she paid me with a baby blanket. And
Gasp.
I didn't want to take it, but I did.
Handmade?
Because it was her son,
Gasp.
and it was for my older son, David.
Oh.
And I
You
took it,
had to take it.
and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, you
I'm
had to
proud of
take it.
that.
What is that blew my mind. How about what you're proudest of personally?
Personally, my two children.
I knew you were going to say
They've
that.
done very well, and
Yeah.
I almost wish I had written everything I did down, because those are two great kids.
Yeah, parent handbook.
Yeah,
You got any regrets?
always.
Can you name a few? One?
No reason.
Okay. So, do you have any thoughts you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Just thought is I really believe in helping other people. What goes around and comes around.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in this together, and I just try to do my best. I look for an opportunity to help people, and I know it comes back to me. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
I wish you much luck in your campaign, and thank you for coming into the studio to be with us on the Laura Dion-Jones Show, and we wish you tremendous luck in all your endeavors. I think we
I
need
appreciate that.
more public servants. Is that the word?
That's the right word.
With your attitude.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you
Leave
having
me your
me.
business card.
Okay.
Oh. You're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show on WRMN 1410 AM. And do you have a word? Would Elaine Brennan like to have a word?
Sure.
With give us some tips and clues and tips and clues, fitness tips.
Fitness tips.
How can one start
just
running if one wants to be a runner?
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady wins the race. Yes.
Absolutely. You don't have to be the first to finish, but you just need to get out there and do it. I started 11 years ago. So in the running world, I'm still fairly new. A lot of people have been running for 20, 30 years. And I was sitting on the couch one day. It was a personal issue I was dealing with, and I just decided to get off the couch and run. And I made it to the end of the block and realized there was more to it than just getting up and running. But and ever since, I've just been doing it, and I love it. And people just need to get up off the couch and move. And like you, just start walking if you need to start walking.
I was going to see, Elaine is a personal trainer at East Bank Club where I do my PT rehab cardio, daily cardio, and she can vouch for me.
Yes, I can.
Do I miss a day?
No, you
Rarely.
are there with a smile on your face.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I am there. I call it
You
torture on the tread.
I've heard some stories about her taking her smile off her face for the day because she was either in pain or just in a crabby mood, or
I'm not crabby.
some real big sweaty guy used the machine before her and didn't towel it off. And
Well, that happens a lot.
You see?
But see, there it is. There's the face. But then she turns it around very quickly once she's in the zone, as us cardio people like to refer to it as, right?
Isn't
The
that
zone.
amazing? You know what? Every day when I do this hour of daily cardio minimum, it doesn't cease to amaze me how I do it, how I make myself do it, from being not a total slug, but losing 150 pounds in 2.5 years by
Fabulous.
making walking a daily habit, cutting white starch and sugar carbs.
And you
Now-
just started with, like I said, a simple step. Just start walking. Everybody can walk, So just start from there.
But you
And
started running.
I
Bada
started
bing, you
running,
just
right?
hopped off that couch
Well,
and
I was
ran.
always athletic, and I've always worked out. So, and I used to walk all the time. So I just thought, well, let's try the running and see what that was all about. And I got the running bug in me now.
God,
so
I wish I could run.
it'll be my
I
5th
can't do
marathon
it.
on Sunday, and
See that? 5th marathon.
That's incredible. That's really good. Congratulations.
it's just running. Thank you.
No, it isn't just running. She runs. I've seen her after her training
Well,
runs.
some people, a marathon is a goal, and if you've done the goal 5 times, a lot of people would like to congratulate you on that as well.
Well, thank you.
It shows determination, dedication. Fabulous.
It's not only physically good for me, but it's very mental. It's
Sure.
a mental thing too. It's
With the marathon.
Yep.
Because when I
clears
did,
my head,
absolutely.
makes me realize some things, and it's
And
good.
That's
It's
what I
just-
tell people. It's all mental. Getting out and doing that daily cardio, it's all mental. She says it's all mental. When I did the Chicago Triathlon in 4 hours and 51 minutes, I was the last person to finish. If there was one thing I could tell people, and I tell at the end of my article that I wrote about it, going the distance, it's all mental. It's if you could swim a mile in Lake Michigan, if you could swim a mile in open water, if you could swim a mile in a pool, if you could bike ride 25 miles, and if you could race walk a 26 point, what's a 10K? 6.2?
Now you got me all confused. 6.2.
It's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you
Where's the
can,
math major?
Yeah.
she's over here. If you could at least race walk or walk a 6.2, you could do a triathlon. The only hairy thing is the swim. If people aren't a good swimmer, I'd very caution them, because I was an extremely good swimmer, captain of the swim team in high school, lifeguard at different pools around the city.
But when you say you could do it if you're not a good swimmer, that's part of the training is to become a good. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like you don't. I mean,
Cross-train.
if you want to do something, that's part of it. Is the training part of it is to learn to be a better swimmer.
And
So
that didn't dawn on me because I was already a good swimmer.
right, but there's the people out there who don't want to do something like that because they think that they're not a good swimmer. But then that's where you have to turn it around and take swim lessons. Take those first steps first before you decide to jump into something like that, and then you can say you did it.
How do you train for a marathon? I know you run every day, but how
You
often,
don't.
how
You
far?
actually really don't run every day.
Okay, so
Running
how do you
every
train?
day is overtraining. I follow.
See?
I'm just asking. Yeah.
I follow an 18-week program. There's 2 days of rest. Fridays and Mondays are my off days of anything, which means you do nothing. One day is a cross training day. You can do anything but run. You can swim, you can bike, you can lift weights, Pilates, whatever, anything but running. And then the other 3 days are your running days. And you follow a schedule. Like one day it'll be a 3 mile, the next day 5, then you drop it down to 2. The longest I've done is 20.
Okay.
That's part of the training.
How long did it take you?
3 hours and 45 minutes.
And do you go out on the streets and run on the streets?
I
or
do.
you
I
a
do. I
treadmill?
switch off. I do treadmill. I do streets. I do on the track at the East Bank Club. Just because it's just give myself a little different terrain, a little different feeling.
Do you recognize a difference between a treadmill and a real physical run outside?
Oh, absolutely.
When I was on the treadmill
Absolutely.
at the Taylor YMCA, I could do a half hour easily.
Right, and
I
not even think.
I try to do 4 or 5 laps, and I'm exhausted. The difference between the treadmill and the actual physical running around to me was just
is
incredible.
huge. It's
Yeah.
huge, and I think that's part of the training is to learn to do both, because the outside is I think that's where kind of the mental part comes in, because you're thinking you're outside and you're distracted a lot. So there's a curb coming up, so you're not you pothole,
Pothole.
a dog, another
Curb
runner,
sidewalk,
a car. So you're not really thinking. You're not concentrating on that run, so to speak. So on the treadmill, you're just kind of you're running kind of
rubber
on
highway.
autopilot.
And when you're
so it's
outdoors running the actual, I don't want to call it an actual physical run because you're running both places.
Right.
Are you outside? Are you with the headphones?
Oh yeah, I'm a headphone. I need my music. I need my music. Well, rock and roll. I'm a rock and roll girl.
Motivation, right?
Yes. Well, and the different tempos. Like some song will get me really going fast, so I can do a little speed run, and then a slow down song. And
do you make your own mixtapes so you can pace yourself?
no, I don't. I just have a playlist of songs. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so if two really good songs coming back to back, you're going to run.
I'm going to run, right, and then a
Okay.
slower song, so brings
Good for
my heart rate down
Good
a
for
little
you.
bit, so I pace myself. So,
Nice.
yeah.
One
So,
headphone or two on your outside.
two.
One. Somebody
Two.
could sneak up on you and mug you.
I'm running fast. They're not going to be.
One.
They can
have to
catch
be
me,
one
right?
hell of a runner to catch you. Yeah. One headphone, though, I do recommend that to people because there was, don't get me started, but there was a controversy about, listening to music, and I can't, when I leave my iPod at home, I have to go home and get it.
Oh, I'm with you.
Because it's just too excruciating without music. And,
I have my headphones now. I mean, my iPod is always with me, so just in case I ever need it.
well, thank you,
you're
Elaine
welcome.
Brennan. You got anything else quickly you want to say? Just besides
just-
get your butt up off the
Just
couch
get
and
your
do
butt
it?
up. Just do it. Just like Nike said. Whoever invented that slogan was a genius, because basically just do it.
Do it for the
Whatever
health
it
of
is,
it.
just do it. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
coming in. And now it's time for our next special guest today. Please let's give a warm LDJ welcome to Hollywood filmmaker, writer-director Sam Oster. There, Sammy, are you there?
Laura. How are you? I'm here. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Great to talk to you. Oh, I'm doing well.
Listen, tell us a bit about yourself, like where you grew up. And I understand you're half Jewish and half Italian, and so am I.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. That's why I didn't tell you that in the email.
Yeah, how about it? Well, yeah, Italian Jews, I'll tell you. Well, one of the lines in my film, because the main character in the film, Joe Rich, is half Sicilian and half Jewish.
No
And
way.
and he says, I'll kill you, but I'll feel guilty about it.
Oh my God, that's cute. So listen
That
for.
kind of, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that kind of sums up Joe's character. He's a guy that wants to be a tough guy, but he's got a lot of doubts and a lot of fear and a lot of guilt, just like a lot of people today.
Just like all of us, and I don't think Jewish mothers have a corner on guilt, because I'll tell you what, Italian mothers are pretty good at the guilt thing too.
Oh yeah, well, Catholic guilt and Jewish guilt together, you can't beat it.
Boy, you must spend a lot in therapy.
Well, I bought my therapist a new BMW, so yeah, I guess so.
That says it all. Listen, for our listeners who don't know about this movie, this is The Return of Joe Rich. It debuts this weekend at the Chicago Film Fest. And tell us a little bit about the movie, because I think I can't wait to see it.
Oh, well, great. Thank you, Laura. The film, it's about a guy named Joe, and he's just an average Joe. And like a lot of people today, the economy has really knocked him flat. He lost his job to outsourcing, he lost his house to foreclosure, and he lost his wife to all of the above. So he's pretty much hit bottom, and he's forced to move back home to Chicago and move into his mother's basement. Now, for a guy, that's about as low as you can get. He's lost everything, and he's back living with mom. But his Uncle Dominic is connected. And in Chicago, we know what connected means. And so Joe decides that his only chance of redemption, the only chance to feel like a man again, is to join the mob. And somebody said, well, Sam, you should just tell everybody, in tough economic times, there's one firm that's always hiring, and they're based in Chicago.
And in New Jersey.
And New Jersey, yeah. But, actually, it's interesting you mention that, Laura, because, most movies and television about organized crime is all based in New York, in New Jersey, The Sopranos, The Godfather. And what nobody knows is that the Chicago, and in Chicago they call it the outfit. The Chicago outfit has always been the biggest, most powerful, most profitable, best run organized crime family in the country.
You're kidding me.
Chicago, basically. No, it's absolutely true. And it's kind of the genesis of the film. I was researching a big period piece that I'm writing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's loosely based on Sam Giancana, but kind of like The Godfather, there was no actual Vito Corleone. He was kind of an amalgamation of a number of different people. My protagonist in my big epic, Johnny Crocifisso, is a fictional character. It's an amalgam of a lot of people, Tony Accardo and Sam Giancana and some other famous Chicago crime figures.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was researching this, I met a bunch of old-time guys who used to hang out, or still do, hang out at this restaurant on the west side. And they knew a lot of guys who had been involved. And I spent 3 years traveling every month from L.A. to this restaurant in
No
Chicago.
kidding.
And, and hanging out with these guys. And, they wouldn't talk to me for the first 6 months. And,
Sure, they don't know who you are. You Mickey the Mope show up from the left coast. They don't know.
Exactly. But after a while, I was able to, I was sitting in the back. Then I could sit a couple of tables closer. Finally, I was sitting right at the table with them. And then once I decided I was okay, I would go to their homes, and I spent the summer at one of these gentlemen's farm, and I just learned so much about what really goes on in the outfit. And they were telling me about how during the Depression, times were tough, and nobody had jobs, and people were losing their homes. And the only option any of these guys had was to find another way to survive.
Shake people down.
And, when people are out of options, they'll do whatever it takes to survive.
Listen, I want to know something. I want to know something. I want to know what Armand DeSante was like to work with. And is he going to be at the premiere?
You know what? Armand, unfortunately, is not going to be at the premiere. Armand is in Kazakhstan.
Oh, yeah? What's he doing there?
He is producing and starring in a film. Armand is an amazing man, an amazing actor, an amazing human being. One of Armand's causes is unexploded landmines.
No kidding.
There are thousands of unexploded landmines all over the world from various wars. And it kills children, and it kills poor people.
Names children.
So it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was making a documentary about that in Kazakhstan.
Wow.
And he just loved the country, and the people loved him. And so he formed a real bond with that country and with those people. And now he's producing and starring in a film in Kazakhstan.
God bless.
So he wanted me to wish everybody in Chicago the best. And he had a great time when we were shooting here. And I'll tell you what, Laura, this is a guy that's worked with Sidney Lumet and with Ridley Scott and the biggest directors in the business.
I know that. That's why I was impressed that you got him in your movie.
Oh, well, and here's little old me telling Armand DeSante what to do.
Could you please turn that way? Say your lines into the camera, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's so funny because Sam Witwer, who is a Chicago guy who plays Joe Rich, and he's on the sci-fi TV series Being Human. And, he's a young guy, and so he had to work in these very intense scenes with Armand. And Armand, they're holding Armand prisoner in the film, and Armand is working himself up to get into the character. And he's yelling and he's screaming and he's throwing furniture. And I see Sam Witwer's eyes getting bigger and bigger. And, I was intimidated by Armand. Sam was intimidated. Everybody was. But he was always so professional, always so kind, always such a gentleman.
But a method actor.
A total method actor.
Yeah.
It's so funny. In the middle of one of these screaming rages, he stops. And he looks at me and says, if I step here, I'm going to be out of the depth of field of your camera, so I'm going to step here. Then he goes right back to screaming and yelling. I mean, it's just, he taught me so much about filmmaking.
Isn't that incredible?
It's just amazing.
We're running out of time. What's next for the return of Joe Rich? Oscars, Toronto Film Fest, Sundance. What do we got coming up?
Well, we'll see. We're submitted to a bunch of different festivals. Of course, now that we're in Chicago, there's a lot of people that are quite interested in the film, and we're talking to various distributors and sales agents, and So we'll see. I'm hoping that you're going to be able to see Joe Rich in the theaters sometime next year and on the festival circuit before then.
God bless. We hope that happens for you. I'm going to get to see it this weekend. Quickly, I want to know the secret to your success.
The secret to my success, Laura, is that I love movies so much because you have to put up with so much difficulty and trials and anguish and poverty getting there that if you don't love it, don't even think about trying. You just you love it, and you just can't quit. The only way you're not going to make it is if you quit.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
And
it really is true.
I was going to ask you for a few tips to give any fledgling filmmakers and scriptwriters out there who are listening, and you just gave us, including myself, the tip. If you quit, you ain't going to get there.
Yeah, and that's it. And I really have no talent, Laura, and I'm not trying to
listen to
play false
this.
humility. I have no talent. I just work very hard at it, and I taught myself how to write. I taught myself how to direct. You just got to do it. Get in there and do it.
We got to talk because I want to talk to you about that Dove project you're doing. I was a few years ago, and I was one of Dove's top most beautiful women over 50. Top 50 over 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
they were great people, and that's a great the Dove Real Beauty campaign. It's an important film, and I was so proud of my work, and actually most proud of the 12-year-old girls. I mean, we worked with 50 12-year-old girls, and
wow.
they were amazing.
Listen, we're running out of time. I got to thank you for being such a wonderful guest today. Am I going to see you at the screening?
Yeah, on Monday night?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
good. Okay.
Yes. And I've got your tickets. I'll hand them right to you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Good luck with all your endeavors, and I hope you do extremely well with Joe Rich. I can't wait to see it, and we'll be talking soon, okay?
Very good, Laura. Thank you very much, and thank everybody in the city of Chicago. Couldn't have done it without everybody.
Thank you for coming on the show today, because I know you're busy getting everything lined up.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, sweetheart.
Bye now.
You're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show, and we're on every Wednesday afternoon from 3 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 a.m., and it's that time again, and now I'm going to have a race to the finish because they're holding up fingers for me.
You can take your time.
We'd like to thank everyone for being with us today. Jeff Mike and Valerie the Swan, most of all Tom Hartwell, well-known Elgin area attorney. See, now I have to talk fast.
There's a lot of fingers up there, though.
3.
Yeah.
Good luck, Tom Hartwell, in your candidacy for Kane County Circuit Clerk.
Circuit clerk, yes.
I'm learning. Elaine Brennan, personal trainer to the stars. And thanks, of course, to Sam Oster, soon to be even more famous Hollywood filmmaker of the return of Joe Rich than he already is. Good luck to all of you, and thanks for coming on the Laura Dion-Jones Show today. And, of course, thank you to all of our loyal listeners. Be sure to tune in to find out what's shaking here on the Laura Dion-Jones Show every Wednesday afternoon on WRMN, 1410 a.m. from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week, October 12th, 2 awesome authors. A book about Marshall Fields, a book about good karma and dealing with past and present lives and other cool things, so please tune in. We've got a lot more. And on November 9th, we have Tony Horton, originator of P90X, the #1 hottest fitness video program in the world, will be here to talk fitness. Tell all your friends. Today's show has been brought to you by
Dr. Claire Elias, as you know, 2001 Larkin Avenue, and also you teens, Azarella Driving School.
And a big thanks to Casey for making this show and all of our shows possible. From Casey Toole, read my weekly motivational blog, please, at elgin.bocajump.com. Click on blogs, tell all your friends. And as our old girlfriend Ellen DeGeneres says, it's important to be loved. It's profound to be understood. And please still keep Ruth and Steve Munson and their family in your thoughts and prayers, even though Steve passed away. Thank you so much for listening. We got a song for you this week, but not yet. Give me another second. Another one of our favorite songs of the week.
I want to say good luck to all the marathon runners this week.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You've been talking about this for 5
Weekly.
months now.
Yes.
Weekly for 5 months.
Look at her.
This is the big weekend. I want to wish you and everyone out there running good luck and good for you.
Thank you.
Ditto.
Now I'll give you more time because you gave me some time.
How are you going to squeeze more time out of this?
I
want to thank everyone for listening. We will see you next week. We all love being here with you. And, hey, Mikey, life's profoundly short, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the happy. And let's not forget our 90,000 troops over in Afghanistan. It's the 10th anniversary of the war. Bring them home. Can you bring them home, Circuit Clerk, County?
We can pray for them.
Thank you. Semper Fi, kids, and peace. We'll see you next week. You've been on my mind. I grow fonder every day, lose myself in time. Just thinking of your face, God only knows why it's taken me so long to let my doubts go. You're the only one that I want. I don't know why I'm scared. I've been here before. Every feeling, every word, I've imagined it all. You never know if you never try to forgive your past and simply be mine. I dare you to let me be the one and only. Promise I'm worthy to hold in your arms. So come on and give me a chance. If I'm the one who can walk that mile until the end starts. I've been on your mind. You hang on every word I say. Lose yourself in time. As a mention of my name, will I ever know how it feels to hold you close and have you tell me whichever road I choose you'll go. I don't know why I'm scared, 'cause I've been here before.
Hi, everybody. This is Kyle C.
Hi, it's Louis Anderson. You're listening to AM 1410
The only 1410 with AM in the front of it.
WRMN.